What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video, we're over on Minecraft, over on the hypixel server, actually. And the reason why is because of a very interesting, topic. And it all relates to hypixel Skyblock. Now, hypixel Skyblock is one of the modes that I've always played on and off with the game. And every time I've played it, it's like I've hit a point on my main save where I log in after like a year or two of not touching the mode entirely, and I realize that I have all these minions growing all these crops and everything, right? And how I just have basically the entire world's supply of just gold sitting there. And then, I go ahead and play for a few minutes. I'm like, all right, gonna grind some stuff out. And then I hop off and, poof out of existence for a few months, come back to the game maybe a year or two later, whenever the Minecraft phase is, and end up playing it. However, whenever I go to hypixel Skyblock, there's always the issue of them having some weird little oddities, such as, some crazy updates with like custom items added and everything else that make me really confused with the game, to the point where I'm like, I can't even really play this, right? I'll hop on, see what I have, and then I hop off because I'm like, I haven't been keeping up for long enough. There's so many different things going on here. You have dungeons, you have all this other stuff. But then one night, after I had started, playing Minecraft a bit more with my friend Ethan, who is actually right here in the chat, you can see Hyperion right here, I decided, what if I start a stranded save? Now, a stranded save is a very interesting version of hypixel Skyblock because you're not able to use the hub. You're not able to go to all the crazy, like fancy places out there that everyone else is able to go, which is like, open world community places. So you're restricted from how fast you can actually grow in the game, and there's a lot of stuff that you have to grind upon grind in order to even get close to grabbing those items and, getting the collection books unlocked, such as nether enemies, right? Because when it comes to the nether enemies, especially when it comes to a stranded save where you have no access to the nether, whether you want to or not, you have to actually grind the game enough to end up getting nether, you have to end up getting magma cream from magma slimes, or, magma cubes, whatever they're called, or, whatever else in the game, and you have to grind all of those out in order to get a nether biome stick. And then once you have the nether biome stick, you have to go ahead and set an area where the nether biome's going to be, and that causes gas to spawn, blazes to spawn, all this stuff to spawn, and then you have to deal with all of those, and then from grinding that's how you get redstone, gold, and all this other stuff. So it's like a lot of the materials that normally you would be able to grind in public areas, you're just unable to because of how everything's set up, right? Because of how everything is, it just makes it so much more of a grind. And I always call it stranded, basically, it's hypixel Skyblock social distance version. You're giving yourself a harder time because you're introverted and you don't actually want to meet other people or have your interest or, your items stolen by those around you. Now, originally I had made my whole entire stranded save to be a solo project thing, right? And I mean, as I'm sitting here, it's almost 2 in the morning and I am still playing this, and as it's continued, as it's grown and become more and more of a thing over time, it became more and more of, instead of a solo project, a project me and Ethan both were embarking on, because stranded originally was an idea that I was just like, you know what, I'm doing this to challenge myself, I don't need anyone near me, and he was like, what if we did a co-op one? And I was like, fine, I'll invite you to mine. And next thing you know, we're sitting here for like 15 hours in a Discord call together playing Minecraft hypixel Skyblock Stranded Edition, which is like harder than Iron Man, right? It's harder than the other stuff. It's basically, if Iron Man was supposed to be the hard version of everything, then this would be Enchanted Iron Man, right? Just based on, the whole entire logic of everything going on here, because of how difficult it is. Because you have the normal Iron Man restrictions on top of more restrictions in the game. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the Iron Man restrictions are, it's basically, hey, you're not able to trade with people, you're not able to use like the auction house or anything like that. The only thing you can really do is, grind out the game in the public lobbies and in your private lobby and do stuff that way. So it's basically what Stranded is, except you're able to go to the hub and go to the different areas that have actual quests for you to do and tasks available for you to actually complete some stuff easier. However, Stranded is basically Iron Man if you locked yourself out of everything else and decided to put on a straitjacket and listen to crazy, I was crazy once, every single day of your life, right? It is not the best experience, but it's one that I decided to go down as a way to challenge myself and to see, what is different if you didn't have access to the auction house, the bazaar, or anything else. And it's led to, this. As you can see here, we have the whole entire garden unlocked. We've actually been able to grind out a lot of stuff, and I'm now able to sit here enchanting tons of melons and stuff to actually get some compost and everything else set up to continue grinding out our garden as we have, you know, these enchantments such as replenish and everything else set up. And it became a grind where it was like, you know, after putting in so many hours, after sitting there for literally days upon days, like I probably put over 24 hours of playtime into Hypixel Skyblock in the past 3 days alone now, I'm finally at a point here where me and Ethan can just chill, focus on whatever it is we want to focus on with this save, right? Go to other saves if we want to, and know that it's going to be a very easy grind going forwards. Now, there are some annoying things, such as, you know, not having personal compactors and everything, which is basically an item that makes it so, like, all of these would get instantly turned into the enchanted melons for us. But at the same time, you know, even though we don't have access to those personal compactors, we are still having an easier time than we were a day or two ago, right? You know, back when I first started the save, I was like, imagine if I started this more. And to be honest, it wasn't because, you know, I wanted to do a stranded save or challenge myself. It was slightly because of that, but it was also because of me being like, wait a minute. I haven't played this game in so long, I don't know basically anything going on here. What if I just go ahead and make a new save, do the hardest mode available to me, and just learn and relearn everything new in the game as I play on the hardest save possible? And then that's when the stranded co-op save and stuff went through, right? And I know this whole entire video is all over the place. You're probably like, what are you talking about? You're going from one thing to another. And that's because it's almost 2 in the morning, right? I've been playing this for so long, I'm losing my mind. But at the same time, I haven't been playing this alone. I've been playing this with Ethan. Now, something very interesting about how this whole entire run went, right, is me and Ethan didn't really talk too much before the whole Hypixel Skyblock stuff and actually getting back into it. But when we made this save, we did a 15-hour call, right? But I went to bed at like 5, 6 in the morning or whatever. You know, I hop off and everything else, and then I wake up, I see a text message at 8 a.m. from Ethan being like, hey, you know, I completed this one thing or whatever. You know, it was like, hey, a person came to the village or the garden, whatever else you want to call it. And I'm like, wait a minute. I went to sleep like 4 hours before this when they said, hey, I'm going to be hopping off very soon, right? So you mean to tell me that 4 hours after they were going to be hopping off soon, they continued grinding, and then come to find out, apparently they stayed on until like 11 a.m. And it's funny because, you know, I eventually ended up hopping on just to check some stuff for a few minutes, and, you know, I was going to be like, pop on, do some, like, do 1 to 2 things, pop back off, go play some Final Fantasy XIV or whatever else. But I pop in, and within a minute of me logging into the actual island, Ethan logs in. And oh boy, was that the worst decision ever, because next thing you know, I'm sitting here like, you know what, fine. You know, he's here, I might as well grind some stuff out, you know, tell him about the progress and everything. And it goes from me sitting there being like, okay, you know, I'm gonna log in for a minute just to check something, to, okay, I've now completely set up a sand minion, I've gotten cactuses, I've gotten sugarcane, I've gotten enchanting unlocked, I've gotten gold, I've gotten blaze spawners, I've almost gotten a gas spawner, I've gotten a gold minion. You know, it's like I have all this stuff completed when the whole entire task was never to do that. The whole entire task from the get-go was just for me to log in and quickly check some stuff. But because of the person who I've been grinding this out with logging in as well, it became so very, very much more than that, to the point where it's like, yeah, there's no escape. I'm stuck here. This is my life now. This is where I'm going to be every single day, to the point where I'm like, can I even make YouTube videos anymore? Will I have time for YouTube videos? Because, like, you know, I'm playing Final Fantasy. I'm recording Fortnite videos daily. I'm doing the commentary channel. I'm now playing Minecraft Skyblock. It's like I'm playing 2 games as my full-time job, as well as actually doing a job, which is making content for you guys and leaking a video game, to the point where I'm going to end up having one day where I'm going to have a dream that they added Minecraft melons to Fortnite, right? It's like it's going to go downhill very soon, and I'm not sure how long my mental brain can handle everything going on here, but let me tell you, it's been fun. It's been a fun few days grinding this out, especially when you have someone to grind it out with you on the hardest difficulty possible. Just having someone to talk to while you're messing around with this, whether it's on call, whether it's in the in-game chat, it is so much fun, and it makes me sit here and realize I've put more hours into, like, Hypixel Skyblock game mode recently than I've put into so many other things out there. Like, if we actually go and, like, think about it, right? I've put so many hours into Hypixel Skyblock that, like, my job is Fortnite leaking. My job is making Fortnite news. That's the main thing I'm known for, and yet I've done that less than I've done this. You know, I've done that less than I've actually done everything else going on right here, and it's just, insane to me. And in fact, you know what, while doing that, we actually managed to get ourselves another actual, okay, I messed up here, so let me go ahead and go back to the lobby, but we managed to get ourselves another minion set up here. So let me go ahead and warp to the home, get the actual blade, or the gas tiers from him, and make ourselves the final minion we actually need from the whole entire gas situation, so that we never need to worry about the nether ever again. Wait a minute. We need one more. Okay, hold on. You know what? This is going to be what we do. So let me go ahead and find like a sword here. There's my sharp end sword. And let's go find the final gas that we need. It's got to be somewhere around here, but this is what we've done. Oh, okay, there we go. Final gas, the final gas. Got it. Cool. So now we can make the final minion that we really need for the nether stuff, and that is what we have set up for the whole entire stranded save here. So if I have a wooden sword I can quickly grab, we can go ahead and make this real quickly, and we will be all good to go when it comes to the magical world of minions. But if you've been wondering, where has FireMonkey been recently? Why have his videos been kind of, you know, some rushed stuff sometimes? It feels kind of laggy or whatever. It's because most of my day I'm playing Minecraft hypixel Skyblock, and I'm sitting here and I'm just grinding my absolute mad lad brain off to the point where I'm like looking at the time and I'm like, what do you mean it's almost 2 a.m.? Because like before I started recording this video, right, it was 11 p.m. And then I look down at my clock and it's now 1:50 in the morning, and I'm like, where'd the time go? It was just 11 p.m. How is it almost 2 in the morning? It's like my sleep is getting hindered by all of this at this point, right? And I'm not sure if I'm doing a bad thing, a good thing, or somewhere in between, but man, is it something going on. So with that said, hope you champs and champettes enjoyed today's little ramble. If you did, consider subscribing and support the content I create. And I am actually applying to be in the Minecraft Championship stuff. You know, there's like this mini tournament or whatever that I'm applying for with Ethan and a few other people. So that'll be linked in the pinned comment down below. Feel free to show that video some love and hype us up so we can potentially get in the tournament to potentially get into an even bigger tournament later down the line. With that said, however, I will catch you champs and champettes tomorrow with another video. Peace out.